Hey, what's going on guys? It's Michael here. Today I'm going to tell you why I switched all of my investments to this brand new investing app called Pearler. And to break it down for you, it's a free trading platform that allows you to buy and sell ETFs with zero brokerage. Pretty unheard of in the Australian stock market. And it has some pretty unique features like allowing you to invest while you sleep with pre-configured auto investment instructions. It's an amazing tool, and I would say they are the biggest competitors to Self-Wealth and Superhero in the space of that low-cost share trading platform in Australia. So today I'll share with you guys the pros, the cons, the things that I love, the things that I don't love after having used Pearler, and why I'm moving all of my stock holdings, like I mentioned, to Pearler. So things are about to get spicy, and there's a lot to get into, so let's begin. So what is Pearler? Pearler is an investing platform available in Australia that launched in 2020 that allows users to buy and sell Australian and US shares. Pearler is not the product for active day traders who are from wallstreetbets or asxbets, and is specifically tailored for those on the path to financial independence and financial wellness. With very competitive brokerage for trades, zero account keeping fees, and unique features like I mentioned around auto investing, it's a pretty great product all round. If at any time while watching this video you want to check out Pearler for yourself, feel free to check out the link in the description below where you'll get yourself a brokerage free trade if you sign up using it. Now straight off the bat, with features that some would say is the crown pearl of Pearler, is its auto invest feature, which is a way to put your investing on autopilot. Okay, I'll stop now with the bad puns. But seriously, Pearler's auto invest is a game changer, and it allows you to configure predefined investment instructions to automate your investing, much like how an ETF has to follow an index's investment instructions. So to paint you a picture with an actual tangible example of why automated investing is so powerful is a story from fund managers at Fidelity, one of the largest stockbrokers in the US. Fidelity had actually done a study as to which accounts had done the best performance-wise at Fidelity, and what they found was that the best performing investment accounts were from the customers who had literally forgotten about their accounts altogether, meaning they couldn't day trade and panic sell. There are numerous studies that explain why this actually happens, and they almost always come down to the fact that our minds work against us. Due to the way our minds work, we often find ourselves panic selling or buying trends, and as a result, buying high and selling low, which is obviously not ideal. And if it's not clear enough already, I thought I'd share this chart from Richard Bernstein that shows how terrible the average investor really is. The average investor only achieves an annual return of barely over 2%. You'd be much better off just leaving your funds in an index fund like the S&P 500, where you would have gotten a return of over 8% in the same period. Now, I know if you're watching this video, you definitely don't suck and are probably much better off than the average investor. That's why you need to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so you can help share this video and save the average investor from themselves. Hitting the like button in some ways is the honorable thing to do here. Now that I know that you're convinced of the benefits of automated investing, I will go through the 3 steps to auto invest with Pearler. First, you need to choose your automated deposit settings, where there are 3 options. The first option is to just invest as soon as your deposit is made, every month or every week or whatever you define. The second option is to wait until your cash account reaches a certain threshold before investing. Or the third option is just to do manual deposits, and they will only invest once you reach a certain threshold again. Now, the last part of this first step is to actually choose what kind of automated deposit settings that you would like to have, where you can actually choose the amount, the frequency, and the initial deposit start date. Next, you need to set up the target assets and weightings you would like to invest in to make up your portfolio. This is where you can really have fun and define what kind of passive investment portfolio you would like to construct. You do this by adding the shares that you would like to invest in. These can be both ETFs or regular shares in individual companies. You then select the percentage weighting targets for each stock in your portfolio that you would like to stick to. This is what makes Pearler so powerful and essentially allows you to build your own custom portfolio that auto balances, taking the guesswork and the irrational nature of being a human out of investing. Then the third and final step of the auto invest setup is to just select your investment strategy, which is basically telling Perla what to do with your money each time you deposit additional funds into your account. There are currently 3 strategies, and it's neat how it shows you the popularity of each one. You can tell Perla to just invest in the current lowest weighted share in your portfolio, this being the cheapest brokerage-wise, or instruct Perla to rebalance your whole portfolio to your targets each deposit. This will require multiple trades each time. Or again, you can just ask it to equally invest across each share in your pool every time there's a deposit. Again, this will cost you multiple fees in brokerage each time. So that's auto invest, but now I'm sure you're wondering, is Perla Chess sponsored? And the answer is yes. Perla supports chess sponsorship with individual HINs across its ASX share trading platform. This is really fantastic, and in my opinion, a must-have for any new entrant in the Australian market, given the potential risks of non-chess sponsored holdings. If you're newer to investing and aren't sure what chess is or why it's important, I'll give you a quick crash course now. Put simply, chess sponsored means the ASX is keeping a list of who owns what shares. If your shares are chess sponsored, it means when you buy or sell shares, the ASX has a record of you owning those shares directly. When you sign up for a broker that offers chess sponsored shares, you get given an ID called a HIN, H-I-N, which stands for Holder Identification Number, and the shares are attached to you via that HIN. And you can have multiple HINs at multiple online brokers. The most important thing to know about chess is that if your shares are chess ASX sponsored, it means you own them directly rather than someone else holding them on your behalf. You receive the dividends directly and have voting rights. Some other brokers operate under a custodian model, usually to save money, meaning they hold the shares on your behalf. And if any of those companies go under, your ownership of the shares isn't as clear as if they were chess sponsored, which is why it's slightly dangerous. Now, the next question, which I'm sure is on your mind, is whether Perla supports US share trading. And if you asked me a week ago, the answer would have been no. But they have just recently launched their US share trading product, and it's really quite good. In terms of pricing, it's $6.50 AUD brokerage per trade with a foreign exchange rate of 35 basis points or 0.35% when transferring between AUD and USD. And whilst it doesn't have free brokerage for US share trading like Stake, for example, the foreign exchange rate is half of theirs. This means if you're doing less frequent, larger size investments, it's most likely that Perla would end up costing you less in fees, even though it has a $6.50 brokerage attached to it. Up on your screen now is a comparison table taken from their website comparing the fees charged for a 5,000 Australian dollar investment in US shares across Perla, Stake, CommSec, NabTrade, CMC and SelfWealth. So you can see how they stack up against each other, and Perla really is quite competitive here. However, if you're making smaller, more frequent trades, it makes sense to use a $0 brokerage platform like Stake, for example. For a complete breakdown of how to buy US shares in Australia, check out my video where I covered this in detail. Now, another recently launched feature by Perla is their mobile app, which is now available on both iOS, Apple, and Android. It seems to be an almost exact replica of their mobile website with some extra features like being able to log in via Face ID or fingerprint. Overall, it's very easy to use, much like their website, and is a great addition for those who prefer to use apps for their investing. So if you're someone who uses Sharesight to track their investments, Perla also has an option to directly link to Sharesight for portfolio tracking. So there's no need to manually import your trades. This is really simple to set up, and for me it was literally a couple of clicks to sync my whole portfolio. You can do this within the report section, which can be found in your Perla settings. And this means if I make any trades using Perla's auto invest feature, or manual trades for that matter, that they will be immediately linked to my Sharesight portfolio alongside any other trades I've made from other brokerage platforms, all automatically. In terms of account types, Perla supports pretty much all the different account types that you'd really want. They've got individual accounts, joint accounts, investment company, trust or self-managed super fund accounts, and accounts for minors. Almost ran out of fingers there. Now moving on to fees, Perla advocates for simple, affordable, and transparent pricing structures, which is definitely refreshing in the world of finance where everything is almost not transparent at all. There are no maintenance, inactivity, or transfer fees with Perla. Very simple. In terms of Australian stock market trading on the ASX through Pearler, they have a flat rate brokerage fee of $9.50 per trade. Or, and this is really an awesome initiative by Pearler, with certain ETF providers, they offer brokerage-free trades on ETFs if you hold the investment for at least 1 year. The way it works is if you buy one of these special ETFs, you don't pay any brokerage when you buy it, but if you choose to sell some within that year, you have to pay both the buy and sell cost, which will be $19 because $9.50 per buy and sell. And currently there is a list of over 45 ETFs that have free brokerage from ETF managers, eInvest, ETF Securities, and Van Eck. So for US share trading, Pearler's fees are actually quite low again compared to the competition out there. As mentioned earlier, the pricing is $6.50 AUD per trade for brokerage, with a foreign exchange rate of 35 basis points, 0.35%. So if you were doing an investment for $1,000 in AUD, it would cost you $3.50 to convert it to US dollars, and then $6.50 in brokerage for the actual trade itself, for a total of $10 or 1% of the trade amount, which is quite reasonable and really not that much for a $1,000 investment. And in terms of investment amounts, there is no minimum investment amounts on Pearler, which is fantastic for people who would like to get their feet wet with investing. So as you can probably tell, there is a lot of amazing features in Pearler, but I want to keep this review as transparent as possible and share the areas where I do think they are lacking a little bit or can improve in. For me, the first thing is the lack of deposit options. They are seriously lacking in different ways to deposit funds into your Pearler account, with the only option being direct debit, and this actually takes a few days to process and transfer in as well. There isn't even a bank transfer or BPay option, let alone any instant deposit options. Not a massive deal for most, especially given the target market being long-term investors, not day traders who really need their funds in quickly, but it is still quite annoying regardless. 2, and this is actually quite annoying, there is no live feed of buy and sell orders in the app or website when you are making a trade. So whilst Pearler does support both market orders and limit orders, you basically need to have access to another investment platform to actually see the live buy and sell orders, as you can't see them in Pearler, which means it's really only practical to make market orders since you can't even see where to place your limit order in the first place. And 3, probably not a massive issue for most, but for those of you with margin lending facilities like myself, Pearler doesn't support this, and I'm not sure if it's even ever going to be on the roadmap for them. Now, even though margin lending support isn't on the feature list, all in all, there are some pretty amazing features that are getting released at a really quick pace from Pearler. Like I said, they only just launched their US share trading platform and mobile app in the past week. And I actually even got a chance to exchange some emails with Pearler CEO Kurt Walcom, where he was able to drop some hints on some upcoming features on the roadmap, which I can share with you. First, and from what I hear is releasing quite soon, is instant deposits. I'm not quite sure yet whether this will be PayID, OSCO, or Poly, but whatever way it is, this will be an amazing addition and just a further differentiator for Pearler from its competitors like Self-Wealth. Another upcoming feature from Pearler is an integrated superannuation product. Hopefully this will get released before Vanguard's infamous super product, which has been #coming soon for what feels like an eternity. I've got no additional details on this product yet, but I'll be sure to share them when I do. And finally, there are plans from Pearler to actually release a micro-investing product, pitting it up against apps like Spaceship and Raise. It will be super interesting to see how they can differentiate and create a really unique offering here, because the market is pretty saturated with lots of different micro-investing apps. If you are actually interested in micro-investing, be sure to check out my video that I did on the best micro-investing apps in Australia. So in conclusion, Pearler is a great new entrant in the low-cost broker space in Australia, and it's actually offering some unique features that make it stand out from competitors. The fact that it allows you to completely automate your investing strategy, combined with its low cost base, is why I'm going to be switching all of my holdings from Self-Wealth to Pearler. And even though it is a new company, I don't have to worry because the company is chest sponsoring all of my holdings, so even if something was to happen, all of my shares would be safe. If you want to check out Pearler for yourself and get a brokerage free trade at the same time, please check out my referral link in the description below where you'll be able to get that free brokerage trade. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't followed me on my socials yet, please check them out and give me a follow. The links are in the description below. And as always, smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them if I can. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys next time.